Welcome back into Foxy and Friends, folks, right here on Foxy 94.3 in the studio, in the flesh. We have the one and the only Mr. Tyler Smith.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here, man. What's
Hey,
up?
it's good to have you here, man. So, you had a little bit of a long drive this morning.
Yeah, I'm right at about an hour and a half, something like that.
Well, we thought we'd get you started off early on this Friday.
That's absolutely fine, man.
So
Absolutely
it's good to have you here, though, man. You're a very talented solo artist yourself. However, you have a personal band, and you're also with the Kudzu Killers still, right?
Yes, that is correct. I play lead guitar for Kudzu Killers. I sing a couple of songs with them as well, and I also do solo acoustic shows here and there when I get the opportunity. And I have a what I call the solo band. Is Tyler Smith and the Still Runners.
All right.
Yeah.
So, two very different names, like the Kudzu Killers and the Still Runners. You don't necessarily hear something like that every day.
Right.
So,
yeah.
where does those two names originate from?
Well, with Kudzu Killers, that band has been around for a long time, and though there's been a lot of lineup changes over the years, and like members having to come and go and things like that, they've been around since about 2004. So Kudzu Killers is kind of like a household name in Harlan County.
Yeah.
And they, even before I joined up and everything, the band had been around for a long time. But I think what had happened was originally our lead singer Adam Brock, his younger brother, had came to him one day and looked at him and said, "Hey man, a really cool name for a band, Kudzu Killers," and it just kind of stuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it is cool, man. It is cool.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody always looks like, as soon as you say, like the name Kudzu Killers to somebody, they'll be like, "What's the name of your band?" And you say, "Kudzu Killers." They're like, "That's a neat name." It always gets a reaction every time.
So what about Still Runners? Where does that come from?
Well, I had a different name for the group originally, and what had happened was it didn't test well with people, like the original name that I had. The original name that I had was the Cardinal Sensation. And the Cardinal Sensation spelled like S-I-N, like Cardinal Sin kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But it didn't test well with focus groups, if you will.
I understand.
That was the idea I had in my head, but people didn't really like it that good. So, went back to the drawing board and discussed it with the drummer, Greg Hollins. And I asked him, I was like, "Man, what do you think? Just like come up with some stuff, write it down on paper, send it to me in a message, we'll pick something." And that name just stuck out to me. And it calls back to the heritage of being in Appalachia and, people running stills and all that stuff. It kind of calls back to that heritage part. So, that's where that name came from.
I have to admit to you, Tyler,
What's that?
I do like Still Runners a whole lot more than Cardinal Sensation.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks. People asked me, they were like, "So, are you a Louisville fan?" And I was like, "Really, though? No, I'm not a Louisville fan."
Well, that was going to be my next question.
No, I bleed blue, man. I bleed blue.
So, how long have you been playing music for?
I originally started playing music, I always say around the age of 12 or 13, but it may go back a little bit further than that because I played in middle school band and high school band. I actually played saxophone in that. And that's a part that always kind of gets forgot whenever I'm talking about starting music. Yeah. But when I started playing, stringed instruments, I started when I was 12, 13, something like that. And I was playing bass in church. And then a couple years later, I moved over to guitar.
All right, man.
Yeah.
So what's going to be the first tune that you play for us this morning?
The first tune I'm going to play, it's called For My Children, and it's a song, I have two sons, and I thought to myself, I said, what kind of advice do I want to leave for my kids, like if something happened to me tomorrow? So that's what this song is, and that's why it's called For My Children, is because it's for them.
All right, folks, I give you Mr. Tyler Smith.
Sometimes the lines are blurred where we separate ourselves between this mortal world and heaven or hell. 'Cause hell can be a peaceful place where you love to show your face and drink the whiskey served on ice in summertime. But if you knew what I know, and if you've seen what I've seen, this world can overtake a man. This world can be so cold and mean. So stand as tall as a mountain and see the forest through the trees, and learn to let go of the past and find your strength down on your knees, and find your strength down on your knees. But don't forget your raising, son. You were meant to be someone who could see through all the lies the devil tells. 'Cause he can tell some dandy's boy and rob you of your peace and joy. But you were raised to know that Jesus is the King. But if you knew what I know, and if you've seen what I've seen, this world can overtake a man. This world can be so cold and mean. So stand as tall as a mountain, see the forest through the trees, learn to let go of the past and find your strength down on your knees, and find your strength down on your knees. And don't you ever chase a redhead through a bar and blow your mom a kiss on graduation day. And don't you pick up smoking nasty cigarettes. Boy, they'll cost you more than you're willing to pay. But if you knew what I know, and if you've seen what I've seen, this world can overtake a man. This world can be so cold and mean. So stand as tall as a mountain and see the forest through the trees. Learn to let go of the past and find your strength down on your knees. Find your strength down on your knees. Find your strength down on your knees.
Wow. Man, you teared me up a little bit with that one. I got to admit it.
Oh, Lord.
That was a good one, man. Very, very beautiful.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
How long have you had that song for?
About 6 months or so, maybe.
Was it a difficult song to write, like trying to pick out the messages and the things that you really wanted to say to your two sons?
Well, being raised in church, of course you want, your kids to, have a little bit of that background. And, I always take them to Sunday school, every weekend that I have them, I take them to Sunday school. And, I try to give them, part of the same raising that I had. You know what I mean? Of, being able to, and whenever they get old enough, be able to, make that choice, but still, have the background in it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're saying.
As to what they want to do and how they want to believe and all that.
All right,
But
man.
I want them to know all the Bible stories and all that stuff. So that's part of the you were raised to be someone who can see through all the lies the devil tells in that song.
Yeah. Well, you sound like a wonderful father, Tyler.
Well, I try really hard.
Yeah, man.
I do. I try really hard, man.
But you're a very talented guy, beautiful songwriter, and you have some pretty wild concerts, too. You were telling us about a show that you had last night here off air. And for all those that weren't in the room with us, tell us a little bit about what happened last night.
Yeah, sure thing. Myself and the Still Runners, we had a show at 11 Amp Music Series over in Middlesboro, Kentucky last night. And we got to the show, and it was a beautiful sunny day. It was gorgeous, just how any late summer day is. Yeah. And we got all of our instruments sound checked, and we were just starting to do the vocals. And cloud coverage started coming in. And as that cloud coverage started coming in, so did rain. And I tell you what, it turned into a monsoon. There was high winds. There was hail flying.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it was a deluge is what it was.
So y'all still played through all of that?
Well, no, we didn't play through that. What happened
I was about to say.
We tore our stuff down as quick as we could and put it under tarps, and then we went and hung out in what they call the hospitality room.
Yeah.
So we had some sandwiches and some drinks and all that, and got to hang out and we waited out the rain, as long as we could, and we started about an hour later than planned. Oh. Which, that was okay because, you could see us pretty good through the stage lights and stuff. It looked cooler. Oh, yeah,
I'd say so after all that rain. And, the show must go on.
Oh,
Can't predict
absolutely.
Mother Nature.
Which I told the people that are over it, the coordinators of it. I told them, I said, guys, I'll sit down here in this room right here and play for an hour if you want me to. I said, I'm here to play music, so I'll just do as you guys say.
So, do you have any other shows coming up maybe tonight or this weekend?
Oh, gosh, yeah. This weekend's pretty busy, actually. Tonight we have Kudzu Killers going to be at Neon Area Days, which is in Neon, Kentucky. We're going to be playing there at 8 p.m. tonight. And tomorrow night we have Kudzu Killers playing in Georgetown, Kentucky at the Tipsy Cow. Oh. Yeah, it's a newer bar up there.
I was going to say I haven't heard about that one.
Yeah, it's a newer place, and we're going to be playing there tomorrow night. And it's actually during the Festival of the Horse. They have their local festival there, and I think a friend of mine, Jen Tackett, has a lot of dealings with that Festival of the Horse. So hi, Jen. You're probably watching. Hey. We'll be playing during that. And then Monday, they're doing at the Twisted Cork, they do the Songwriters in the Round. It's 11 voices, one room, as like the slogan for it or whatever. And that's hosted by Listen Locally and the Twisted Cork. And that'll be in Lexington Monday.
Yeah, these songwriter circles, they're get to be a very popular thing here and around our area.
Well, I think it's because we have so many awesome songwriters around.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And it's such a cool thing, though, too, because it's bringing them together. Y'all are sharing ideas, sharing stories. It's just a very cool thing. And also these songwriter circles, they're open to the public, right?
Yes, they are. Anybody who wants to come can, come in and take a listen. Of course, they ask that you be respectful of the songwriters, That's one of the etiquette things that I think some people probably need to be educated on, is whenever you go to these songwriter circles, respect the people that are on stage and try to keep noise down. Yeah. Because, if you're playing in a crowded bar, that's totally different than, going into a place to see a songwriter circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. It's two totally different events.
Very much so. So, it's good to be, respectful and reverent of the person that's up there singing.
Yeah. So, what's the second tune that you're going to be playing for us this morning?
I think I'm going to play you guys a song. I actually ended the 11 Amp performance last night with this song.
Okay.
And It's called After 2 a.m. is the name of this song.
All right, take it away, brother.
They say nothing good happens after 2 a.m., but I've proven them wrong time and time again. 'Cause it's 3:09 and you're on my mind. Maybe I can see you just one more time. I roll over hazy and I dial your name. Come on over, baby, and make me feel sane. You pick it up blurry and you hear my voice. Now I've left you dizzy with a worn out choice. And you say to me you're fine out on your own. Your words breaking as you're hanging up the phone. And there's more to this than evidence has shown. After 2 a.m. lying here alone. After 2 a.m. lying here alone. I wake up early from a night of hell. Go to work and smile like I'm doing well. And I hide these scars, hide a button-down shirt. Words through the day bring up past hurts. And they say to me I'm fine out on my own. My words breaking as I'm hanging up the phone. I take you with me everywhere I go. After 2 a.m. lying here alone. After 2 a.m. lying here alone. And if I knew the words that would bring you back again, I'd sew up my lips with needle and thread. And if I could write the song that would melt your cold heart, I'd set flame to this book I'm writing in. Oh, it's clear to me I'm fine out on my own. The memories of you fade until they're gone. I'm smiling as I'm putting down the phone. After 2 a.m. lying here alone. After 2 a.m. lying here alone. After 2 a.m. lying here alone.
Wow. Man, it just gets better.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that a bunch.
I love what I hear, and I'm positive that everyone else out there does too. So, is there anywhere that people can listen to you? YouTube, Spotify, Facebook?
Well, let's see. I have a few years ago I released a gospel record. It was back in 2016, around this time actually, so it was about 2 years ago. And it's on iTunes. It's called Accelerate is the name of it, and it has it's a 5-song EP, so people can listen to that if they want to. I post a lot of videos on Facebook. Mm-hmm. You can find me on there just under Tyler Smith Music. I'm the handsome bald-headed guy. that's who I am, on the Facebook, and I'm on Instagram as well. Tyler Smith Music. It's just like Tyler Smith Music.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. I have a couple of songs on YouTube.
Okay.
You can just search my name and search After 2 a.m.'s on YouTube. And I've also posted on Facebook a few times at different performances.
Yeah, social media is where it's at now.
Social media is where it's at, man. I actually made a post the other day. I was saying, if your profile picture is you with a guitar of some kind in your hand, I'm going to send you a friend request because my whole news feed is just full of musicians.
well, y'all have to stick together,
Absolutely, yeah, I agree, man.
But getting back to the songwriters thing, talking about different musicians and stuff like that, this area just grows more and more each day. It feels like
it's so great, man.
It's beautiful.
It's an explosion right now. I mean, it really is. It's huge. There's so many people out there that I'm listening to right now that are local. I was listening to that new Jason Sinkhorn record, Junction City, Kentucky. God, it's good. And I've been singing his praises to everybody I've been talking to here lately. On the way over, I was listening to the new John R. Miller album, The Trouble You Follow.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one too. It's really good. And speaking of the Songwriter Circle thing on Monday, somebody else I've been listening to is Sean Whiting.
Oh yeah, very talented cat. I like Sean.
He's so good. He's going to be on that Songwriter Circle with us on Monday at Twisted Court. Him and Grayson Jenkins both will be there.
Hey, Grayson Jenkins, they done the Main Street Live just a few weeks ago.
I saw that on Facebook.
Killed it, man. It was awesome.
Grayson's awesome. He really is, and he's going to be there. There's so many people that's going to be there. Ryan Allen from Magnolia Boulevard supposed to be there.
I love Magnolia Boulevard.
Ain't
by
they
the way.
awesome?
That's a good band right there.
God, Greg Irwin with that slide guitar, man. You're watching him and you're going, it's the Almonds like reincarnated.
It is.
It's awesome, man. I love it.
And see, and I love your attitude about it because almost every musician around here has that attitude that it's not a competition.
Exactly.
It's all a big family.
Yeah, I tell everybody that I talk to that. I tell them, somebody will say, well, your song is better than mine or whatever. If somebody's not as confident or anything, I'm not the most confident singer-songwriter myself. I do what I do and it's good enough for me. Mm-hmm. And it just so happens that a couple people may like it. But I tell people, it's not a competition. Not one person is better than the other person.
That's right.
We have to, lift each other up and share each other's stuff on Facebook. Listen to each other's albums. Share stages whenever we can. That kind of stuff. Yeah,
it's just an awesome little community of people that we're creating. It's Eastern Kentucky is going to be the next Nashville for too long.
I'm telling you what, man, the stuff that's coming out of Eastern Kentucky is a whole lot better than what's on pop radio right now. I'll tell you that.
Agreed.
Pop country radio and all that. But we're not going to get into that because that's an hour-long discussion.
Oh, yeah. So do you have maybe one more for us before we head out of here?
I do. I'll play one more song for you. This one's called Highway 80.
All right.
And
is it about Highway 80?
Well, it's just listen to the words. That's all I'm going to say.
Man, I like it.
I tell people usually behind every song there's a little bit of truth and a little bit of creative freedom, and I'm not going to tell you how much truth and creative freedom is behind this one.
I like that, man. Well, hey, take it away, brother.
And I've been driving Highway 80 looking for that special lady with a tattoo and a freckle no one sees. She's a looker, that's for sure, son, but I can't proclaim to no one the love we're making is forbidden, wrong and bad. 'Cause her husband's working late nights at the train yard on the rail lines. He'd be furious, he'd probably shoot me dead. He's been saving up to build a home her daddy never gave her. She's been asking me what hue to paint the walls. But some women wouldn't cheat, and some would not have cheated had they married men they loved or liked at least. And that doesn't make it right. That doesn't make excuses for these transgressions I've committed in the dark. When he's walking out the front door, I come knocking on the back. He drives away and she's mine just for a time. And I started out this dealing with just a burning with no feelings, but we both knew love was coming around the bend. And now I'm trying to decide, how the hell am I gonna break the news to her this has to end? And before I got too hasty, she came to the door in laces. I shut up and throw my caution to the wind. But some women wouldn't cheat, and some would not have cheated had they married men they loved or liked at least. And that doesn't make it right. That doesn't make excuses for these transgressions I've committed in the dark. We were getting hot and heavy when I thought I heard his Chevy in the front yard, but my ignorance prevailed. He walked in and discovered his loving wife was with another. A crime of passion landed him in county jail. Then the people of the town joined up and gathered round to mourn the loss of the poor unfaithful wife. And that old judge and his jury convicted that man in a hurry. I lost my heart and my love that Saturday. But some women wouldn't cheat, and some would not have cheated had they married men they loved or liked at least. And that doesn't make it right. That doesn't make excuses for these transgressions I've committed in the dark. And now I'm driving Highway 80. I'm looking for that special lady. She is buried in a graveyard on the hill. Lord, forgive this lonely sailor who sent that man up to the jailer. Now I decorate her grave on holidays. And now I decorate her grave on holidays. And now I decorate her grave on holidays.
really paint a picture. I'm telling you. Very beautiful, man. So right before we have to go, again, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Facebook at Tyler Smith Music, or if you want to just send me a friend request. I don't usually turn down friend requests, just regular old Tyler Smith. Like I said, I'm the really handsome, bald-bearded guy on there. You'll see me. There's Instagram at Tyler Smith Music. And then you can pretty much find me anywhere between Kentucky, Virginia, Tennessee, playing shows with Kudzu Killers, the Still Runners, or myself.
All right, and where are you going to be at tonight?
We're going to be at Neon Area Days tonight with Kudzu Killers.
All right, folks, we heard it right there. Mr. Tyler Smith here in the studio, man. Come by anytime. It was a pleasure.
All right, thanks, Eli. I appreciate you, buddy.
All right, folks, we have a lot more Foxy and Friends coming up next.